Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be healthy, fit and strong? Do you want to be healthy, fit and strong for long? What a great series of questions. But the question is, I think, what does healthy mean to you? What does fit mean to you? What does strong mean to you? And in a world where we have a pandemic of overweightness, if there's such a thing, the medical professionals are sharing with us that more than half of the people in the world are overweight or obese or morbidly obese. So it's become normal now to be overweight. That's why I'm asking the question. Can you be healthy and carry around extra weight? And of course, that's a very controversial question. It seems, according to the medical experts, that if you are carrying extra weight, you are much more likely to be stressed, to be depressed, to have coronary heart disease, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease. You're more likely to end up with Alzheimer's or dementia. There's a lot of risk factors involved with carrying around extra weight. The reverse of that is if you are carrying around extra weight, but you have a healthy resting heart rate, a healthy blood pressure, you have healthy cholesterol levels, healthy blood sugar levels, and you're considered fit and strong, so your heart rate, because it's low, and you exercise, you're really fit, and because you lift heavy things, you are strong, can you still be overweight and healthy? And it's an interesting argument, and I'm not interested in the argument. What I am asking is this. As exercise professionals, as the fitness industry, and I don't like to call myself part of the fitness industry because fitness is just one part of being an exercise professional. And I really believe that as a professional, I don't work in an industry, I work in a profession. So that's why I always ask my max exercise professionals, please don't call yourself a personal trainer, and please don't say that you're in the fitness industry, because both of those are not unfortunately not considered to be professional people by the top medical professionals in the world. So as exercise professionals who are part of helping people to be fit and strong, what is our focus? And I think that's the important question. And it seems to be there's a lot of focus on weight. There's a lot of focus on how do we look, how much body fat percentage do we have, what size are we? And it seems that focus takes then away from the are you healthy? So do you have a good resting heart rate? Do you have healthy blood pressure? How are your blood sugar levels? How are your cholesterol levels? Do you have healthy, strong muscles and bones? And the interesting thing is if you put the strong perspective onto exercise professional, exercise is the best medicine, according to the top medical professionals, for everything. They all say, the people who focus on healthy, fit, strong bodies that are healthy, then those medical professionals all say that exercise is medicine and medicine is exercise. So if you want to be fit and strong so that you don't have cardiovascular disease, coronary heart disease, type 2 diabetes, risk of a stroke, your high risk of being obese, depression, Alzheimer's, dementia, all the horrible killer diseases that are caused by carrying too much weight, they're suggesting that rather than focusing on the weight, let's focus on being healthy. And those biomarkers for being healthy, is it possible that if you have those right, that perhaps the weight will look after itself? Is it possible that if we focus on being healthy, we're less likely to get caught up in the horrible headspace of dieting and fanatical exercise and I have to look good? Is it possible that when you've got low resting heart rate, you've got a healthy blood pressure, when you've got healthy blood sugar levels, when you've got healthy cholesterol levels, when you are fit and when you are strong, that one of the side effects of that is you might be lean? But what if you're not? Does it matter? And that's one of the interesting questions that I would love to focus on, because we have a lot of cultures where food is the thing that brings people together. There's a lot of cultures in the world where food is the wow experience in people's lives. And obviously when you eat a lot of food, there's a very high risk that you're going to put on excess body fat. You will be a fatter person. But what if you're a fatter person, but you still had a low resting heart rate because you were fit? You had healthy blood pressure levels because you were fit. You had healthy muscles and bones because you were fit and strong. You had low blood sugar levels because your body burns up all the sugar that you put into your body so it doesn't stay in your bloodstream. And you have healthy blood fat levels, healthy cholesterol levels because you burn that all up. Is it possible that then you could be a person who eats an enormous amount of food, loves to eat food, you are an overweight person, but you're still really healthy? And could that be a personal choice? Because often in a world, and I'll use this as an example because I've been on the planet a really long time, the fashion of how we look has changed. If you look at the 60s and 70s and you look at the supermodels, they were stick skinny. But then if you look at someone like Marilyn Monroe, who is considered one of the most beautiful women in the world, she was at least a size 12 to 14. We had a time when it was all about being skinny, 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 ripped abdominals, being a tiny little woman. And it seems now that we're in an age where it's kind of cool to have big legs and a big bum and look like an athletic female. And I'm coming from a female perspective, of course. So because the fashions change in the way we look, is it possible that if we focus on being healthy, being fit and being strong, then the rest of it will look after itself? And as an exercise professional, if we don't focus so much on this low body fat percentage, got to lose weight, and it's just this big thing all the time about losing weight. And I'll give you an example and perhaps a request. In the fitness industry, one of the reasons why I don't want to get caught up in that headspace is a lot of health clubs, personal training studios, people who teach exercise will do challenges for the human body. So there's a 12-week challenge to lose weight or a 6-week challenge to lose weight, and there's usually a prize attached to that. So the person who loses the most weight or the person who has the most physical change wins the prize. Now, I'm sure you know as well as I do that just because you've lost weight and just because you look good doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthy. And I use the example of bodybuilding competitions, bikini competitions, where there's beautiful bodies standing on stage, but not necessarily healthy ones. What they've done to get a body that looks like that for a very short period of time has not come about by getting puffed, lifting heavy, eating healthy food, being hydrated, getting vitamins and minerals and macronutrients and micronutrients and antioxidants, and being a healthy, fit, strong person. Often there's an extreme headspace and extreme actions to get a body that looks good in a bikini or in swimwear on stage, which is not about being healthy. So you can look really good without being healthy. Can you not look so good and still be healthy? And that's the interesting thing. So in a world where we focus on weight loss and looking a certain way, what if, as exercise professionals, instead of running challenges for weight loss, what if they were health challenges? What if the person that won the competition was the person that had the lowest resting heart rate, a healthy blood pressure, healthy blood sugar levels, healthy cholesterol levels, and they felt good about themselves? So there was some kind of measurement. I always use a scale measurement. I've always said to my clients, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? 1 is I've got no energy, I'm tired and lethargic and I can't be bothered. And 10 is I've got a stack of energy and I can maintain it throughout the day and I'm always performing at my best. So imagine if we could take, and if it was going to be a competition, because it seems that there's so many health clubs and personal training studios that use some kind of challenge as a marketing tool to get people to exercise. But what if the result, the outcome, wasn't that you look a certain way? What if it was that you had a certain set of numbers or a change in that set of numbers? So the person that got the biggest change in their resting heart rate, the healthiest change in their blood pressure, the healthiest change in their blood sugar levels and their cholesterol levels. What would happen to a person if they, for example, their resting heart rate went from 100 to 50, their blood pressure went from 140 on 100 to 120 on 80? What if their cholesterol levels and blood sugar levels went from dangerously unhealthy to normal or very healthy? What if somebody's measurement of how they feel went from I feel tired and lethargic and can't be bothered, I just don't have any energy to do anything, to I've got a stack of energy and I can maintain it throughout the day? What would happen to somebody's headspace if they had those kind of number changes, what would happen to their physical body? Obviously, they are biomarkers of being healthy. And then, really interesting, I wonder what would happen to their body. Would they lose weight? And now comes my really interesting question. We focus on the number on the scale. So often in those competitions, it's the person who lost the most weight. But I always ask the question about weight loss that I think is either we've forgotten to ask or we never learned to ask in the first place as exercise professionals. When somebody loses weight on the scale, the number changes and it goes lower. How do we know what weight was lost? What kind of weight? Now, ultimately, if you've got a stack of fat in all your fat cells and they now become smaller, you would probably weigh less. But interestingly, fat doesn't weigh very much. There's 3 things that weigh a real lot inside the human body. Number 1 is water, number 2 is bone, and number 3 is muscle. They're very heavy. And when you go on a diet, particularly a strict diet, a fanatical diet, you will probably dehydrate, you will probably lose muscle tissue, and you'll probably lose bone mineral density. In fact, I'll go to the extreme step and say, is it possible that you will lose fluid, you will lose bone mineral density, and you will lose muscle tissue? Because that's what happens when you go on a diet. So when you stand on the scales, you weigh less. But if you're dehydrated, you feel terrible. If you lose bone mineral density, you end up with osteoporosis, a bone thinning disease. And if you lose muscle tissue, you end up with a very slow metabolism because muscle is the engine of the body. Our muscle is the thing that keeps us being able to do all the things that we want to do, and it's the machine, the engine, that burns up all the calories. Muscle is the largest metabolic engine in our body. It burns the most calories. And yet when we go on a diet to lose weight to win a competition, the person who loses the most weight is the one that usually wins the competition. But could it be because they lost water, because they lost muscle, because they lost bone? And we don't even know because we don't usually measure whether they've got yellow stinky tinkles, whether they've got osteoporosis, and whether they've lost muscle tissue. And I think that that's a focus perhaps that needs to change. What do you think? Do we want people to be healthy? And I'll ask the question again. If I'm healthy and I love what I see in my mirror, but I have a high resting heart rate, high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, high blood sugar levels, I'm not healthy physically inside. I could die of a heart attack. If I've got a low resting heart rate and I've got a healthy blood pressure, I've got healthy blood sugar levels, I've got healthy cholesterol levels, but I'm overweight according to whatever the supposed weight is supposed to be, who tells you that anyway? Then which one is healthy and which one isn't? And could that be a personal thing? As an exercise professional, should I be focusing on getting people really healthy where the side effect might be that they'll lose weight? Or should it be that I want you to lose weight, not knowing whether it comes from fluid or muscle or bone, and let's do it in a way that maybe you end up not being very healthy, physically not very healthy, but also psychologically not very healthy. And I'm sure that we've all met people who do not have a good relationship with themselves because they're always on a diet, can't have, mustn't have, don't have, shouldn't have the foods that they love to eat. They're fanatical exercisers. They have a poor relationship with food and with exercise, which ends up as a poor relationship with themselves. So they're mentally unhealthy, physically unhealthy, even though they're exercising and going to the gym and doing all the extreme things. Well, I don't want that for anybody. How about you? I would love everybody in the world, this is my wish, to have a low resting heart rate because they're fit, to have a healthy blood pressure because they're fit, to have low blood sugar levels or healthy blood sugar levels and healthy blood fat levels, cholesterol levels, because their body burns up all the food that they put in. I'd love everybody to look exactly the way they want to look. So many people are just so obsessed with looking a certain way. But what if you could do that without having to do anything fanatical, without dieting, without having to do some crazy exercise program, without having, wouldn't it be nice, I always ask this question, if you want to compete in a bodybuilding competition or a bikini competition, wouldn't it be nice just to be ready for it rather than have to train for it and do crazy, weird, fanatical, horrible things to get your body into that kind of shape? Wouldn't it be good to have a healthy brain and a healthy body, physically, mentally strong, fit, healthy? And I always ask this beautiful question, would you like to be fit and strong for long? Would you like to be fabulous at 40, fantastic at 50, sexy at 60, sensational at 70, awesome at 80, happy and healthy at 100 plus. Oh, I forgot the 90, which is never give up at 90, so that you do get to be 100 plus. And there are people in the world who are living their life to the full quality that they possibly is even possible for all humans, and they're over 100. They're still working, they're playing their sport, they're making love to their partner, they're living their life, they're going on holidays, they're playing with their grandkids and great-grandkids, and they love their life. And I would love that for everybody, that for the rest of your life you are fit and strong and healthy and you look exactly the way that you want to look. And wouldn't that be nice to be able to do that with a healthy brain and a healthy body rather than doing it by the extreme? So what if we focus on getting people really healthy? And wouldn't it be nice then if the side effect was either they have the human body that they love the way it looks, or how about this? What right have I got to say how you should look? What right have you got to say how I should look? Wouldn't it be nice if everybody could look in their mirror and be really happy with what they see? So I always ask those 4 questions about every eating and exercise plan, and should we be able to demand it? That we have a stack of energy, we perform at our best, we look good in our mirror, and we love the way we look, and we're getting the results that we want from our eating and exercise plan. And if we added to that, wouldn't it be nice if we were healthy? So we're healthy, fit, strong human beings who have a stack of energy, perform at our best, love what we see in the mirror, and we're getting the results that we want. Wouldn't that be awesome? Woohoo!